Yema mu nyina ha emamo akwaba eba United Television so ye prompt break kasebo di fi oman ana fama hudo bi so ni aso ne so ye de asum kasebo yi edi fi abeka jan hyehye pause ewo enkran DSTV Kwabena channel 360 Samsung na Facebook and social media handles hudo ni nyina ne kasebo yi etwagu ewo ho de bedi makotene bi ene se abasobo dwumade bi akoso efa de wurubo ene de obonwumeku ahodo ho na despite media yaji bebre sanso na ye wura fada Dixon so ya bo na baso se ye ka obi a odi mu e wo de obadwumakuo no hyehye mu ne tutuye mu a o mangada ha de obi a ene no ense ye ma pani na adodan kwakufu adon so kwabekwa ayaresa bia bi oho no wakokotwa homa mu ama zisi obeye adwuma ana ma pena da mahama so de to de kyeremu se ye si ye e wo America man mu Ghana fo so ye hwa bibi efamfiri mu afa aba na nsan wo mo eto ye no wei ene samahudo bi na mede bram sakasebo na mo no aseda piesie ebekwa ma aboafo a madawro ma gina wabeti me ye de kasebo ibram abre bia best point ka ho bi best assurance ka ho you2 enchine so edi makotene sanso na this way chocolate drink and the coffee drink this way non-dairy tea creamer enu ya mkwada ahoden ahye ne ma special ice nsuo de woto mu ne osahye mu ya so no se korje special drink ni de wono mu a ebanipadua na ahoden keke na special energy no no ma karifi na wo sen no na fe nit fufuo simanum na ya krado nit abakwan eguma hodo mienu ba ko ho aprere kase wom ba ko so aprere kase ni nyina ka ho bi na ma yedidie so timi content tempa o madawro ma ene de kasebo ye ebremu me amunsun ena wi amidin ade Agya Kwabena afi kasebo ne munsam nie ye ma pani his excellence na narodan kwakufu ado akwakoda dwumadie bi ade ewo asate bekwa ne nyina ne se ayaresa bia ewo ho no ye hyase ache ye pa na so prepare yatumi awie ama akoda na disa manfo ho no emfanya adwuma.
Today is indeed a very happy day for residents of Bekwai because the project, which started during the era of the late military head of state, General Agya, has finally been brought to completion 4 decades later by the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. This ceremony is further evidence of government's commitment to continue with and complete successfully major infrastructure projects that were inherited from previous governments so that expected socio-economic benefits can be enjoyed by all. Our pledge to provide quality infrastructure for all is continuing in earnest. Having stalled in 2013 due to lack of funds, government, through the dynamic, hard-working Minister for Health, the Honorable Kwabena, Member of Parliament for Tema Central, successfully negotiated for funding from the United Kingdom Export Finance for the completion of the civil works, procurement of equipment with a 3-year warranty period, and the training of required personnel for the operation of the hospital. This hospital has been constructed at a cost of 22,330,000,000 euros and has been fitted with all the modern facilities. The Nanum government is committed to improving access to essential and quality health services through the provision of the necessary health infrastructure, equipment and logistics, including the deployment of appropriate technology as part of our drive to attaining universal health coverage. I want to reinforce the call to the administrators to embrace and strengthen the culture of maintenance. This edifice has been put at great cost to our nation, and we should be in the position some 10 years down the line to see it still in good condition. It should not fall in the ways in which several institutions like this in Ghana have gone. The leadership of this facility must set the example for its periodic and constant maintenance and will be held accountable for this. Let me commend once again the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service for the great efforts they and their teams have put into the completion of this hospital. We shall continue to sustain our agenda of building a robust, resilient, and sustainable healthcare system for current and future generations.
Mampani na nado sande atudwe echirim se ohwe COVID-19 ye baye ya na nkoman Ghana ye boy homodin ananso sisi na sama ne homene so na bibia ha adwene ye pa.
In recent weeks, however, we have observed a gradual change in the trajectory of the virus, with an increase in active cases from the 398 cases recorded 3 weeks ago to 1,139 active cases as of Friday, 6th of November. The total number of deaths now stands at 320, a great majority of them still with underlying illnesses such as hypertension, diabetes, chronic liver disease, and asthma. The number of daily infections is on the rise, from an average of 25 new cases per day then to an average of 130 new cases per day in the course of the last 2 weeks. Fellow Ghanaians, it appears that we are letting our guard down. Now more than ever, we have to adhere to mask wearing, hand washing, the use of sanitizers, and social distancing protocols that have become a part of our daily routines, and which have ensured that we do not impose all over again the restrictions we are seeing in other parts of the world. In order to help arrest this new threat of rising infections, government is going to reaffirm the steps that have served us well so far. We are enhancing the measures of tracing, testing, and treatment, i.e. the 3 T's. In addition to this, we'll continue to limit the importation of the virus, embark on the strategic controlled easing of public gatherings, enhance public education and information, and continue to provide relief and support to individuals, families, and businesses.
Ayaresabia bi a ayasabia hwe ensan yare amekire infectious disease afa empama komako ha yesi na eno na nana dodan kwakufa do Ghana mampedi atudwe ekyiremu se won beye amanmere ene amane na ahyase adwuma gidigidi pa sa ayaresabia ka wonsam yi ye mpanifo awdo bi ankorankure na won so COVID-19 be na won ani abrese betumi aboam yakon atia ti se GMPC Dr. KK Sapon a obodwumaden da omano afurura so nyi hosi no mu mpanifo awdo bebre ene kaka bom mu a womo asisa ayaresabia.
I've instructed the release of additional logistics, including vehicles, to the Ghana Health Service in order to help beef up contact tracing and the supervision and monitoring of asymptomatic cases being managed from home. In the area of testing, I've tasked the Ministry of Health through the Ghana Health Service to liaise with all laboratories and testing facilities across the country to ensure the reporting procedures are ironed out and adhered to. Inasmuch as our hospitalization rates are very low, care for the sick and the provision of treatment remain an important aspect of our strategy. To this end, the 100-bed Ghana Infectious Diseases Center, located at the Ghana East Hospital, will be opened in the next few days under the management of the Ghana Health Service. The provision of adequate medicines, equipment, and personal protective equipment to enable health workers to attend to home-based patients has also been guaranteed.
Ghana man penny dada His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so that you jechim say abe America fortune and say Ghana for betu enso bibi de afiri mu pa de betu enso afiri mu bi ni say aman no nwumekwa hodo bi a ye be mo mokwa no ofo mu pem aye adwuma amanyofon fo mo hwene enwurawura mu oka bi ti say Electoral Commission atemu asoye no afi mrase bedwafo de say ekuekwa hodo nyina wo mo so bo amaka mamika bigina no esese ye mo mokwa no mo ye mo adwuma wo kire mu a wo hwe a abatu ekoso America man mu no man pedo na Trump kraka sabato na komu aba no omunya ne kan nanso anya de a ekoba saa adwuma kwensan so mo de omo hunti no mo yi adwuma nse na so mo ye no no na no chese we danka Ghana na nka si ya anka ye nyina ye numre danka manyofo do ho be wurewure mu ama Electoral Commission tumi nya kokuduro nya mo adwuma eni to sere se ye makwan na se ku no anya adwuma na mmoa ama ye ka bi mamika bi no entumi nyina.
Well, when I say I look forward to working with him, it's because I am confident that we'll win this election. Of course, I was vice president at the same time he was vice president, and then I became president while he was vice president, and then, of course, he left office, we left office too. When I talk about working together, of course, Ghana, we live in a global village, and the U.S., as the most powerful nation in the world, you know, has a lot of connections with what we do here in Ghana. When I was president, we successfully negotiated the Millennium Challenge Compact. Unfortunately, this government's messed up the PDS issue, and that has led to us losing quite substantial amounts of funding that would have helped to, you know, strengthen our electricity distribution system. When I say I look forward to working with him, one of the priorities is to see whether we cannot get back the money under the MCC to improve our electricity distribution network, whether we can take another shot at what we had agreed to do under the Challenge Compact. So that's one of the main focuses, the energy sector. But there are many other places in terms of multilateral cooperation, global climate change and all those things. America should be leading that challenge. I was very disappointed when Trump pulled America out of the Paris Climate Change Agreement because America is one of the leading nations and we had all negotiated this together. And so for America to pull out meant that our ability to achieve the landmarks in the agreement were going to be affected. And so those are other areas that I think we can look at. And then in the area of investment, leveraging more American investment into Ghana would be another area. Despite the fact that the election was not going the way of the president, and he was calling for a halt in the vote counting and all that, the institutions just kept on working the way they should. And that's the kind of predictability and strengthening of the institutions we seek in Ghana, that institutions are able to work without political influence. I wonder what would have happened if the same was happening in Ghana. But we'll see how things go. We all need to work so that our institutions like the Electoral Commission, you know, and all the judiciary and legislature and all the institutions that anchor our democracy, I mean, should be strengthened so that it doesn't matter which government is in place, they offer the right, you know, service and mandates that the people have given them. We should take a lesson from what has happened in the U.S. When you have a leader, you know, who becomes divisive, you know, there are a lot of doubts about his personal interest and family interest and all that. He abandons his allies and so on and so forth, and just generally pursues a unilateral policy. A time will come when the people will get fed up and they'll rise up and make a decision that protects their interest. And so I guess that Trump's one term in office, you know, has many lessons for us here in Ghana too.
Mampanya be de che His Excellency Dr. Mamadou Bawumia so edi na enu kobo apro ewo Oti Mantam okwaba to pesha makomako enwotwe so amadwumedi ahodo bi ne mpuntunwuma bi nso no okutwa homa bu eda ne di.
Mampenya be de akire Alhaji Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia head na probo no kopie mu won Kwanta South constituency na eho no e na o che se opposition amanyoko yi wo mo ba no ma beka se wonom do atifido mantemfo epezongofo asem nenso hunhunu de omo ye e de ama wo mo efi afi apema hankro de okono miensa ebesisa ye kase da bia wo ba no mo de nuane na aba na omo ato ajeje mu se nwomesua ne mpuntuo de omo ye firi omanfo abrabom
yede sikama NDC se omo se omo pe sremfo yede sikama omo se omo fan puntu onko srem ono se omo yesada omo fa $100 million 100 million no omo se omo de ye mpuntu ejuma because srem 5 regions ni nyina me bisai omo nchire yen one project just ba ko pe $100 million no omo de ye omo ntintire omo se omo de ye and confirm na omo to eko Burkina Faso na omo ba omo se omo de omo pesremfo ene zongofo ama omo nye fi mayen omo fire omo ye shinkafa da shikiri politics omo ma mo shikiri say ndidi na vote ma enyesa yembe kafa de shikiri politics yepe mpuntu politics yepe education politics
eno achi eno manhina ono ewo dodo amanfromu da sebre odro gunamen a odikan wobo aban na baso ewo nyoma ahodo bi a wayem.
Excellency, the good people of Kajabi issues are very grateful for the share of the cake. Especially, we are proud to host the Regional Business Resource Center. I am pleased to know that construction of the regional office of the health insurance scheme and the new circuit court complex is currently underway in Kajabi. In fact, our hopes are alive, and we are certain that we will see more development projects.
Nekrakramu ena Seidu Musa, MPP Regional Communications Director, what you say?
For more for Nanano, Ajibe Bia, Oti Region. Come December 7th, all of us in Yabeko polling stations, no, Akotoaba, Ama Iseseles and another Danko Akufado, and 8 parliamentary candidates now, Omujina.
Kwanche for penny no da Ghana Investment Promotion Council ano yewura yofi grant oda to dwe kiremu se Ghana wo mo etumi de o madwene enwene enwuma entrepreneurs no wo mo enhwe okon betumi afa so ama oil and gas ho a say abedu o Ghana mo yesu etu bi ne edi bi adwuma no wo nim de no wo mo nwene bibi sa emfa sa gas ne wo yire nsam ne betumi aboa yie papa ama wo mo so se kasem etumi agina no mama impuntu so akonanim.
CEO Oda Ghana Investment Promotion Council GIPC ano eyora yofi grant na ochire se Ghana won mo abiebe wonwuma no ese fata so obetimi atete won kwaban mu ewo oil and gas sector ho eno eyefa ngo fam wo se de be ya aban no so ebeboa no esanse aban de waboa no ho twen se wo mo betere won kwaban mu na waso wasene edi 2020 oil and gas awards a ekoso won kraman tema say no eno de asemwe atu eja.
I dare say that I suspect that in the next 5 to 10 years, we would have grown the oil and gas industry to the extent that we are going to see a few Ghanaian millionaires and possibly billionaires. And it's government's intention to actually promote and provoke that agenda and ensure that as many young people actually own assets in the sector. And it must be a deliberate effort. It should not happen by accident. And so for us at GIPC, to build that capacity, we actually endorse that foreign direct investors, even in the sector, should partner necessarily with Ghanaians. And what that will do will be to upscale our knowledge, upscale our participation, and also upscale our ability to partner in the wealth of the sector. My point is that by 2050, we will have a unique opportunity of being major players in the world economy. Africa will be the biggest market, single largest market in the world. It will have the youngest and the fastest urbanization rate in the world. And it will have the fastest growth rate of wealth in the world as well.
Enwechi no UTV Central for any event manager oil and gas awards ora Richard Abe edi nkomo ema wono so echire mu say Ghana for wo say yetimi ema ye homene so ne nya mfaso free enframeja ena feifa nwomo
so oyo nanka say no kwa Ghana for bibi na question the ga say wa so mo so nya hu ya enti bibi na den we have to become international ne enjoy look anepe enti obo hu say record say wo ko nenim na afi do ko international. It's Ghanaians now take advantage of making sure say you see all your neighbor be one African way. Say ye day ye share see any ye binu. Ye emphasize nim ye no fan call. On the Indians and a beauty partnership near the Queen. Now with the Ghana no near but that map no so ne kesi mu. Aha. Yes. Aha na cash there. The chine there ba. Cover so na baba no e mu nyi by no dey ba say there. Ni kakre mu ase na ekọ no ye mu na afi the oil and gas so and support omo workers na making sure say continuous testing and a support to the communities na ye omo wo mu na omo ye djuma no omo support the community no. Say bibi na won lembele ho omo ya there ba could be technique FMC we see a whole vocation institute at $150,000 on them say na e was na sika no ba na the ye djuma ma community for one enye say e ba na no an say ye ko expatriate there be mo
ye to ka se bonus na ye ko Tema Central batu empesua so I rose my saka free watch say Ewra Ebi Bright a ono na wo gina endis amayoku no anemu apre ye mrahedwade bre no the cast makomakomiensa a 4x4 myself ibi bensi die bi no eja to machine nyina na manebon kyese na homache bobe no miensa apemu na saibro husemu esi ochese nsuo ene anyinamo bi edwagua na nyasem kuma kra na ye a ne cast ni nyina tumi hye ne de no kwasemu ni obatan wonim
tender boy nsuo toy fine by 1 hour after the subside here I started explosions heavy explosion there for me you know na e wonder say where thunder na that maybe a mood and I be an explosion and I so but it cannot be in my house one house baby right say still ana akwalani ntino na say my slow kakra my breath it's yana Minia David came from top. Honorable, your car is burning. Honorable, your car is burning. I'm saying which one? And I see the Mercedes. I'm saying because no trainer, I see your car is burning, but car no. Minia Penny, Agya. At the end of the day, and they to me, around 3:20, and fire service for
ye ko nsem fufuru ma na ye ko na hyebedwamu nunyamfo right honorable Professor Michael Okui Speaker of Parliament that to je kyeremu say Fomena batum pesua ne sese no wo munim na hyebedwani bia wo ho ne tie kokoba ne sa ene say ye onunyamfo Andrew Amwakwansiama ogina MPP amayoku de dinimu se na hyebedwani no o that to je kyeremu sa fia ba ye kokoto no wonko MPP di mu bi wo kose kontenkro na so no man mra ene ne hyehye tie ne MPP amayoku no so hyehye tie no ade a wonka mo hu bi so wonka mo hu bi dia na ne din a ebata MPP ene na hyebedwa ho no ade a entumi nya dwuma bi nti sese yakase no saa di brese na hyebedwani age ade afini nsemu a wo mabeto aba ade yim na hyebedwani foforo wafia ba yebeto no
candidate against the officially elected member of the party or who joins or declares his or her support for another political party or for an independent candidate when the party has sponsored a candidate in the general or by-election automatically forfeits his or her membership of the party. The moment the MP files his candidature with the office of the Electoral Commission to contest the next election as an independent candidate, he should clearly that he is seeking or seeks to leave his party. This automatically triggers forfeiture of his party membership. You cannot have the desire to leave, take a step towards it by filing as an independent candidate and yet claim to be a member of the party. The step taken to contest against his party automatically triggers forfeiture of membership. having forfeited the membership of the party on whose ticket he was elected to parliament, the operative language of the constitution is that he shall, which is mandatory, vacate his seat in parliament. Going by a purposive interpretation of the present law, consultative actions on the part of the MP are important. To all intents and purposes, he is no longer a member of the party. He has pronounced himself publicly as an independent and has filed his papers to compete against the party and its official candidate as an independent on 7th December 2020. On that occasion, this current parliament will still be sitting and operating as an official parliament of the Republic of Ghana. We shall not have a situation adopted freely by any sitting MP where he or she will be campaigning openly against the party that he or she still represents in parliament and yet ridiculously stands against the party. No purposive interpretation of law will allow such ridicule to prevail. Furthermore, after 7th December 2020, when parliament is still in session till 7th January 2021, how does an MP operate both as an elected independent MP and at the same time an MPP MP if he should win the election? This lacuna of a ridiculous situation is not what is anticipated under the 1992 Constitution. In the circumstances, it is determined that the conduct of Honorable Andrew Amoako Asiama amounts to vacating his seat in Parliament. Accordingly, we bring this to the notice of the Electoral Commission for the necessary action to be taken in accordance with the law. Signed, the Speaker.
Yada so awa abato ene ne nsɛmsɛm na pani a ɔda abato adwumaku na no ewura agye mensa de atodwe kyerɛ mu sɛ abato adwumaku na ayɛ krado ɛfa hoboa ene ntotoyɛ sɛ mo yɛ de fa afia abato ho no a wɔn ayɛ ni nyina wie anesa hɔ mu kyɛm aduɔko no 95% deɛ wɔn awie anesa ewura agye mensa de nsɛm tudwa wɔ bra mɛhyɛ budwa foto safrɛ no so wɔn kyɛ hoboa wɔn ayɛ ene ntotoyɛ wɔn ayɛ de fa afia abato no ho na no kyerɛkyerɛ mu sɛ sika abato adwumaku no ede atoto mfidie ene nneɛma hodo no bɛyɛ adwuma no ɛyɛ Ghana CDC million no opihasa duasa nwɔtwe ene achipo duasa enso 338 million 338.37 million Ghana cedis ene Electoral Commission no ede atoto mfidie no kyese nipa bɛyɛ opipimu du nson 70 million ene omudi won abato homanum a kyese hoho bia krampo edi nso enimu na regiment a kyese ballot papers no so no enwumeku makomako enson a ye printing houses ahodo na se bia tintintintim nkrata no wo mo ene ye ho adwuma.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to inform you that the Electoral Commission is 95% ready for the successful, credible, fair, orderly and peaceful conduct of the election in December 2020. I can confirm that as a result of a thorough planning and distribution mechanism deployed, we are about 95% done with the distribution of election materials to our various locations across the country. To facilitate the movement of our staff and to promote the delivery of our mandate at the grassroots level, the Commission procured a number of vehicles. These include motor bicycles, four-wheel drives, pickups, and haulage trucks, and coaster buses. These were procured at a total cost of 38,373,545 cedis. The procurement of these vehicles has promoted the efficiency of our staff, as well as the swift movement of goods and materials from our stores to our regions and districts nationwide. Mr. Speaker, as you may be aware, the Commission has prepared a new biometric voters register in time for the election. We are pleased to note that the register embodies unique individuals only. To date, the register has a total number of 17,029,971 unique individuals. We are pleased with the credibility and integrity of the 2020 voters register. We are happy to note the collaboration and cooperation of citizens at all levels, particularly at the district level, as well as the magistrates who worked with the commission to ensure that only eligible Ghanaians participated and were recognized in the process. Printing of ballots. Mr. Speaker, the printing of ballots is currently underway in 7 printing houses in Accra, namely Back Press Limited, Assembly Press, Fonstad Limited, Inolink Limited, Yasako Limited, Checkpoint, and Acts Commercials Limited. A majority are printing houses which the Commission has used since the year 2000. As I speak, the agents of the political parties and the security agencies are monitoring the process at all the printing houses. Mr. Speaker, in a nutshell, this is our roadmap for a peaceful, credible, orderly, and transparent election in December 2020. I wish to assure you and this August House that we are fully prepared and ready for the elections in December, and we are working with our teams to ensure that the elections are credible, they are fair, they are orderly, they are transparent and peaceful. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana,
Yeko NDC sama yokunu mu na yeko Tano South abatu empesua so amanebo afio aba ekire se MPP achitafo be aduanan afiri kuro bi efre no mansin hu ama sisi yakasai no omo de omo ho akokodom NDC sama yokunu da nipa makomako aduanan ekire se efibra MPP aban eba ye be efie nan ni no omo nye hu ewo mpotemu ho emfa emma womo a ewosa empota na se kuruku a ye ka ho asem ye mansin kuro no na no mche se ebro no nyamfo hana bisiu ana no emra hye bedwane ankane wo ho no wone ma hodo bebre ade ma wo mo ne ma hodo bi a wo ye eye se wotumi ma wo munya ebura makomako miensa a pipe siso ebo ho yi bi afi school dance so sisi bi de ma wo mo afi bechemu ene mansin kwantempo no so wotwa so ye ne kama de ma wo na mra hye bedwane wo ho yi wo ba wo nya hwe eno ne kasa tenten ko a eno ti ne ho behia se wo mu free MPP amayoko no mu pra na wo de wo ho ekokodom NDC amayoko no na eno na owura Johnson na siedun katia o ye twetwerefo paniba NDC amayoko no agi sa nipa duanan eka se wo ma makwa aba na so mo kasa ade wo mani ehumpuntudwuma NDC ye ade atoto MPP de wo ma hu se MPP anyehu amfa ma wo na so ma ba NDC mu de a ene no mo yiro mo hu modawuro amfa ma NDC se ne be ya MPP nu ni aduona ba ebeto no NDC be di nkuna mpuntudwuma no wato apete mo biansa atumi aka ne de Yeko NPP amayoko no mu ewo Dome-Kwabenya batumpesua so yenyina nim se onunyamfo han adwoasafo onunyanso adwoasafo wone onunyamfo kwei oginia eye makokwe ginia ena esi akan ewo MPP amayoko no di mu se wo mo pre eye mnahye dwadibre no ekowi ase no adwoasafo enedi nkunim enti amamente me kwase kakra bi esore na nsesi akase asomdwei aye adwuma empemfo mienu aka wuti abomu a wo mo ebonto a ede ama NPP
primaries no baby ti se Dome-Kwabenya ade a onumunyamfo adwoasafo emrahye bedwane a wote akonwa so na ambassador wo India His Excellency Mike Okwe Jr. and omde ko boss wo na efi se wonum eto aba no ewieye ema onimunyamfo ana His Excellency Mike Okwe Jr. edi nkogo no afedi enyame adom wo mienu aka bomu a asomdwe abua no wonum anombie no na His Excellency Mike Okwe Jr. ejina paso ede eto omanfo nyina anim se wo endorse onimunyamfo Saradwo Safo se wonum to aba ma no wo Dome-Kwabenya na fe na na dodanko akufuado said ye beya enkunimdie no ebeya kase ewo empesua no so a wo kire nsemu sei
ahoto ana ope ahoche ne se alawa so ye tua ana no ba ana ahoto so ne se ubenya planting for food and jobs abema ediani ayefofofo ewodom they hear ne se the elephant is the winning symbol. They hear say, vote for Nana and vote for Adwa. It's the middle chat and say, Meka Nana nia Mundi na moa Masanje so Adwa ni Nana nia
eno achi no na hyebedwane wo Dome-Kwabenya wo no ese gina onumunyafo Sara Adwasafo eso ka kire party achitafo ni nyina se enkabo mu de eye ni nyina no eye MPP amanyuko no din mu se de be ya wo mbetimi endi nkunimu nti ene se fata se enkabo mu no ebeba
Messi Yabama Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado 120,000 votes and Ayamano. Yabama no 120,000 votes and Ayamano. And that Dome-Kwabenya the Florida of Ghana. Kukudu. E was say Yamano and Maya. Na Obia Yam Shisheno. Yamano ya Kaipe. Na mampanyi etimi agua home no waka se ampa ekonya no mode ya dadai atna so gugudu etimi sramo emra ayadui watimi wakame wetia me na so primaries we can say chira me primaries me sramo baby adu no eye osono no ena ehuhia gugudu Osuno no ene ye hwe no ana meboa moma ye nyina yankambom all hands on deck ni enya adwuma ni amfa nkunimdie emra
ye kambu say UTV pram to breakfast ebo na muhwedi efa beka jan hyehye pause ewo enkra konsem fufuru mu a ye nuanom musremi mabunu beye aduoson enum eno magentity oti mantemu emaya ne memen samena yo afitan dai ene mpaboaye toma ye ne mahodo se ne be ya wo so omunsa ebitu akoma no
Abra wakasa wo bedwanim no Haruna Mohammed wono na ye coordinator ema Zongo Prenua dwumadi a wahyehye na no no se aban bekoso a aboa omanfo enipa be se ahasa ne aduosia a wo chekere wo mo se de esi edi dwa ye bie yankase ye dwuma no na wama wo mo dwetire a wo de befiti ase ama bosome mensa ntem no wo mo atimi ehunu se de business anase wo di dwa se de esi eye no.
After the training, the Zongo Development Fund shall provide support by way of startup grants to the most promising entrepreneurs that will come from this training program, which is what the PRO have mentioned. After we have given the money, we will not stop there. Our technical people will be with you for a minimum of 3 months, within which they will be coaching you on how to build a business with the skills you have acquired. We are selecting some most promising entrepreneurs because our resources are limited. And we prefer to give you support that is valuable than to divide it small to many people, and it will not carry you anywhere by way of establishing a business.
Eno achi no jase ka ban krache panyini Agya owura Lawrence Aziale ono so ekire se ehia papa se ubenya entitiye ewo adwuma bi a woye mu na aboatitiru eye enkramufo emabunu no wo mo so atimi agyae se otututu kwan ekomiamia ahodo ekosoasoa enwoma eye enwuma ahodo nemum wo mankasa atena wo toso abie wo nwuma no aye.
What we are witnessing today is giving the Zongo youth, especially the girls, skill training so that they can have their own profession, they can have their own work to do. This one that they have learned will take them away from what? Going to Accra and become kayayes on the street of Accra or Kumasi. It will also take them from a teenage pregnancy. It will take them from early marriage because they have something that they can depend on. And this is the dream of Nana Akufo-Addo. And I, as the DCE over here, and also the parliamentary candidate, I'm so desirous to make sure that every youth in Buem, regardless of what the ethnic or religious background, must get a skill. Those that are going to school, we are sponsoring them with the scholarship. Those that have not gone to school, we are giving them the apprenticeship program, and we are also adding it to what? Adding the entrepreneurship program to it.
And I know pay UTV Ohana, Betiane say ye ni abre ko emma bebre na abochenku be adanya. Wo mo chaso mo na motonton pan no so ran potutu na so na nka akwan wana sami ahodo bon se eme hye pan no butter nka ne ne fa sisi on friend imagine nka ne fa ne butter ene niam ya jam no di hye mu aye tobi dia ana man kwadwon se yan kwadwuma na wo mo ha nyina ne se wo mo a eto pan no na wo mo so kofa pan no mo nchen ekokoton no pan to fo no atum enti se wo mo koton wo mo nya hwe ana wo mo de ne bere ba se UTV de on ba na so mo kan amansantie enti ye ne omo kasa ye wo nsɛm ni
Ewia susurmanso insuru tare ye nem ewia no ba ye nem ni nyina ye kɔ kakra ye benya dinti na ye breda mo bre sister obetumi nanti wo kafre osu obetumi nanti wo kafre aye achimota mpodo ye ta domi Kwabenya palako Midday mi michima mi kwa kistama mi kwa gboba ansa na brodwen asa brodwen sa adekuro wo ho pade brodwen sa sun anso omba jiwo sika ade ti so wase brodwen ya ndra de nti ye mpe na wo de yekotu ugu ntu na yakotu egun so ka be chance 5 na yekotu ko no cha say ye profit na yakotu egun ye toilet 80 pesos ye ko bunsu ye bibia da mo tete Ghana na nyenyen ona na ye tetu fim ye to margin na se wase we brodwen wo mbon 50 pesos bo bon 1 cedi emi amansa mi jira me ntuntum de 1 cedi e baba so ma na ator
pa eja brodwen djuma na ye na pay your home man ya ma me fo ka chen ya de brodo no wa atu o de be man ya hina wo so de be man ya 2 cedi na 2 cedi e be de na ya so ya akoto na ya bi na ya da hwe ya mma ye nta ase nti ya pede brodo no mo ogbo 15 wo de man ya wo man da mala no wo fa man ya na sisi ase wo ogbo 2 cedi wo de man ya ya hwi wo na ya koya na da ya ba ye nta ase na ya so ya yi baby ya de ko na ya se de be YouTube na wo da atu gwa na wa ka kire wo ma me fo wo ya mo na mo ogbo 15 wo bo me ya 15 da ma nti e ba ya asaman
yesra ya ma me no na wotu brodo no ya pon cho bebre ejuma na ye no ye nim san foso ni so mo bo brodo no ma ya 2 cedi sa ye nya bi e wo so nti ya so ya ma che wa no ko ye kosi brodo fie na ma bo brodo na ma ya 2 cedi dia ye jintum yesra mo ya de ansa ne ya na gu fomu omo mbo no 15 ma hem yesra mo bebre because ye ba foka lolo fe ewi boy na mo so nsu oto ye timu baby yakwata obi kwa boto brodo ase me to brodo no magini 1 cedi na be so won brodo no 1 cedi brodo no magini 1 cedi so no wotima omo a se na obenya fi so woto na me asa 2 cedi sa wonya bi enfi so na wonya bi e de chia ro ene ehon kaka ho eka eti asoro mo a ye de yakopop mo a chom omonti brodo no so ma he na omo mbo no 15 efamo baby yakwa bia omo se 2 cedi no omo jintumu omo mbo no 15 enti asoro mo omo so omo jintumu na omo mbo no 15 ma he ye de omo ase
oya ahomto na ye nuanom mayi nsem omo kan ye no yenim se pan no na wo mo eto no obi neto na ono so kutu isam esichire ene de ka not max ne ne ma ahoda ka ne magine ne ma ka no mo de ye enti wo mo se be kom che bisa sa dan anye bia bibi na si nti no moto mu na wo mo so mo chefa ewo mu no wo mo ka UTV ye de ho nsem nyina bebra mu ye nyina no so ye ntwa ho tia wo ye ba ye beto ye kase bo no so
Can you yes